Fantastic, sir. How are you? Mhm. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be God of War day till we beat this game. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mhm. You taking a page out of my book, bro. Just so I can't play God of War afterwards. Yeah. Listen, I try to do better. No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because it's they just like spew word jargon in that article. It was good, and then like the last couple hours before I left, like the storm's coming in, so it's like starting to rain. So I got soaked on the way back home, but it's okay. No, no, Thor did not come to visit today. This whole show is probably gonna be God of War references. Hmm. No, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow because I've heard so like that show. My goodness, ever since what was it, episode 5 or 6, on like the heist, it's been so good. Like arguably some of the best piece of Star Wars media to date, in my opinion. I'm a casual Star Wars fan, but I've been catching up like on the Mandalorian. Like I've been watching all this stuff. Like finally got around a couple months ago to watching Rogue One and Solo and all that. Solo's okay, um, but so Andor's really good. And I know a lot of people saying, "Ooh, it doesn't have like force powers and lightsabers." Star Wars is much more like political intrigue. There's a lot of scruffy nerd herders out there that are, doing other things that don't have powers. So I like it because it's covering something like a sector of Star Wars that's not very shown often. Because like the lightsabers and the force powers are what get you to the box office, but the story is what keeps you there, and that's what I'm liking that they're doing with this show. Yeah. Oh yeah, it didn't start off. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it didn't have the greatest start either. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So in other words, he's taking a paycheck, but he's also made probably a lot of intriguing like he's probably going to make one of the better. It's like Flappy Bird. He created it as a joke and it became successful and he got upset. Yes. Like last week's episode, like that end part was like, cause he's like, Cassian's trying his hardest to get this one guy on his side, and then finally it happens at the end of the episode. And he's like, "How many guards on each level?" He's like, "No more than 12." And I was like, "Let's go!" Yeah, yeah, yes, I've watched all of that. I liked it a lot. I actually liked Dooku's story a lot more. Like we learned, because I mean, if you've seen the trailers, it's just focusing on Dooku and Ahsoka. Um, Ahsoka's story was good. We learned some new things that we didn't know, especially in episode one. But Dooku's story was much more intriguing to me. I think we learned a lot more about him, and like it filled in just a few gaps from like the prequels that, it's like, oh, when did they do this? How did this happen? And it's like, oh, this is when it took place. Cool. So I really like Dooku's story, and then like, because we all know how it ends, but like the way it came to be was just like, okay, I don't agree with it, but I kind of understand your reasoning for why you did what you did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 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 Yep. To voice them. Like Dooku's the epitome of like good intentions, bad execution. Cause he Duke. No wonder. Like I kind of like Dooku and Anakin are very similar, but just since Dooku was older, Palpatine's just like, I need a new model. Anakin, take him out. Oh yeah, yeah. That battle in the third episode with Dooku, like when he shut the door, or like when he's like before he actually took him out, I'm just like, oh, that's brutal for Star Wars animated television, but okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Intriguingly voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard, which I, not remembering Yaddle very much, I was like, huh, okay, that's an intriguing pick, and she did really good. Yeah, 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 yep. It's like, oh, I'll still be on your side. Like I'll try and reason with the council. Yeah. A what if for Star Wars? Mm. Visions. Yeah. Ahsoka never left the Jedi. Yeah. Or what if Obi-Wan became Vader instead of Anakin? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Uh, by the way, we're getting Visions Volume 2 beginning of next year. They haven't given a date, but they said early 2023. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Like that first episode was pretty good because we didn't know much about her past other than here and there, but seeing that and then like I was generally scared for her in that one part. I was like, "No, what are you doing?" Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. That's his literal child. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, yes. Ooh. Mhm. Oh yeah. I would love to see like how Palpatine became like cuz like we saw him, we knew going into the prequels like what he becomes, but it's like it was sort of like and boom, now he's Palpatine the Emperor. Now like what made him go to like he hinted at it a little bit like in episode 3. But it's like I would want to see like the full transformation, like what flipped the switch to make him decide to go to the dark side. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Good. Of course. Oh, good. Mhm. My boy. Yeah. I know. Jujitsu. Um, just like the villain is Mashu, not Orochimaru, right? But Amy, just all I gotta say is you just gotta keep up with certain characters because you never know who you're gonna like. Because Zach and I have a reason, so, and it's because he has no feelings. Mm. Yeah, I mean, we always covet, it's like that old adage: big people wish they were skinny, skinny people wish they could gain weight. Um, you know, it's that never-ending cycle. It's always intriguing what we could be on the opposite coin. Oh no! No, I mean Amy understands you. Oh, well.
There we go. That'd been great. That'd been great. Yeah, now my mic's working.
Now, guess what? At least it wasn't our God of War discussion.
Yeah, at least it was the pre-show stuff. You live vicariously. Yeah, I live vicariously through Itachi, Like, there's this infamous, Derek, there's this infamous merge lane in our town that angers me so much. And I was driving earlier. I had to go get some blood work done and everything, and it was backed up. And I was like, I would hire Itachi right now to just murk every one of these people. Literally just murk. Like, they don't know how to use a merge lane. They don't. No, they don't. Some would say that's kind of harsh. They don't deserve to live. It's like,
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think a better thing would just use Amaterasu, and you have to, because you got to get all the cars out of the way. Yeah. Getting the people will just make the cars just sit there.
Yeah, but like, I would like send Itachi to their house so they could wipe out their whole bloodline.
Wow! All right, Zach.
It's just like we taking them all out. They don't know how to drive.
We get. That's everywhere. Road. I mean, if we did that, no, hardly anyone would exist. It would look like the blip. It would look worse than the blip from Endgame.
And guess what? The demand on gas would be lowered, so they'd have to lower the price of gas.
Yeah.
There'd be less admissions. There would be less people like hiking up the price of different things. So the people that need to get a PS5, guess what? They can get a PS5 now. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Truck drivers would rejoice because of all the people that don't know how to drive are gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then raises the question, because, it's like removing all the idiots, because there's always got to be the weakest link, right?
Yeah.
If we remove all the people who can't drive, then we reach a point where the good drivers, someone has to be the not so, like the worst of the bunch.
True.
So then it's like a never-ending cycle.
No, like there's like competency levels. It's like if you pass this competency level, like you're good. But if you ever go below that, like if you get older and you can't drive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just don't try to push it. Don't try to push it. Just stop. Or Itachi will come after you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even sending Pain. I'm sending Itachi. Like, it'll be fast.
Almighty push.
Like Pain would make it. I think it would be worse. It would literally be painful the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would. Yeah. I'm showing mercy here. Okay. Orochimaru would do experiments on you.
Kabuto would just merge you like with something.
Yeah.
It'd be like from Full Metal Alchemist.
And then the dude that like can't die, you don't want that dude either.
Hedon.
Yeah, you don't want Hedon. You don't want the dude that needs hearts.
Kakuzu.
Yeah. I feel like what is puppet dude?
Sorcery.
Sorcery. Like I feel like he would end it quick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he doesn't like his time wasted. And then Deirdre would be like, my heart! Ah!
You mean Daedra?
Yeah, whatever.
Deidre? What? Okay. All right.
You know, that dude, like, if it ain't Itachi, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't worried about your name. You die quick.
That's true. That's fair. You're the side character.
Yeah. So, that's all good. That's all good in the hood, guys. All right, guys, make sure to hit the like button. We do have our awesome merch that is available right now over on our Teespring store. Dropping it in the chat right now. You can get 10% off currently on our store. We got socks, we got sweaters, we got awesome shirts. We got milking the hogs, slaughtering the horses. A little nod to our show here. We've got two different versions. We got a text version, and then we got a cool, awesome, sweet rubber hose, Cuphead, whichever way you want to slice that orange. And then we've got our foundation t-shirts, our good game t-shirts, our wolf pack, all those good things. Limited time, guys. These will not be around forever, so make sure you grab them while they're still available. And I have a new shirt, but I'm not putting it out yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the next cycle. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till the next cycle. Y'all gotta get these cool shirts now. If y'all want the cool neck shirts, we gotta see where the investment is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all
exactly.
These designs. We got
see what the people want.
Yeah. All right, Derek, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's kick this big because we're into this. You want to play some God of War? You know, I want to talk about God of War. You know, so let's do this. Let's kick this big. So, guys, we're gonna reintroduce everything like we're starting fresh and clean. So, be a part of this. Be a part of the discussion and everything. And it's gonna be an awesome show. All right, I have hit the record button, and I'm hitting the marker. And starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the NerdCave News. I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined along with, he puts tyrants of histories to shame. He was a terror in his reign. He would hunt his subjects in the streets just for fun. But he stood at only 5'1". He was Duman, the Fulian, the little king of Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. You make me sound like Napoleon.
Duman, we're glad to have you here. Almost like demon. You're a little demon.
Damon.
Yeah. Duman. Duman de Fulion, the little king of Liechtenstein. Now, Duman, I know you've liked to hunt your subjects down in the streets and hit them with a fish. I know that was like your favorite salmon. A salmon was your
salmon.
Your fish of choice when
not because it's the same size as me.
Yeah, but it stank, and you know you can put in a lot of different meals. Like after you beat, like you're tenderizing the meat, as what you've told me before. I saw something earlier today, Damon, and I thought of you. I was driving, and I saw.
I'm afraid.
I saw youth wrestling.
Okay.
Apply inside, and I was, Alexa, shut up. It's like what I saw youth wrestling apply inside, and I thought that kind of strange. I was like, who's gonna go fight the youth? Like who's going in here and beating up these kids? Someone has to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Derek, like someone has to do it. And
who's going to be the Lord Zed beating up the Power Rangers?
Like, I almost want to take it on myself to go, like, you know, crack some skulls. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I want, you know, put them some chokeholds, put them, you know, lion tamer, figure four leg lock, get
Tombstone pile driver.
yeah, just rock elbow, all those things. But like someone's got to do it. Like what if these youths, if you will, are sitting there and they no one ever comes to wrestle them.
Yeah.
Amy says, got to keep these wild youths in line. Exactly. Like, what if no one ever wrestles them and then they grow up and they're no longer youths?
Yeah. They'll just be deviants, miscreants.
Yeah. Like someone's got to do it. And Dumont, I know that you are great at this. You're great at this, hunting down, the miscreants.
Oh Lord.
What?
I'm not saying no. You trying to make me out to be Itachi?
Sorry, you're not that cool.
Oh, what? Okay. Oh, all right.
Welcome, Brandon, to the stream. Amy says, I think you want to have your Cobra Kai moment. I do.
Hello, happily newlywed.
Strike. If I've learned anything, Derek.
Yeah.
Strike first, strike hard, show no mercy. Those are the three things that I've learned. Strike first. It's rule number 1, Derek.
Yeah.
Strike hard. So you're giving it all you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then show no mercy. So when one of these youths, if I was, wrestling these youths, like, they're asking people to come and wrestle these youths. And when they're begging, like, please, sir, stop hitting me. I'm only 12.
Just end it right there. That
just,
mercy is for the weak.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do like Tachi did to Sasuke. I'm gonna put you in a genjutsu, and I'm gonna like make you see everybody die again, like I did it once.
Put you in the Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, it's like I did it once. I'm gonna do it again, just to punish you, cause you weak boy. You come up into my dojo, we're gonna have a problem.
Oh boy,
you know what I mean? Like I'd have my whole arm just like hanging out my coat, just like resting, just waiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I wouldn't even I just kick them. You know what I mean? I would fight 20 kindergartners at one time.
Oh my gosh.
I would.
You need to watch obviously this is not appropriate for the show, but you do need to watch because RDC World 1 did a skit where it's like when the villain beats up the main character, and it's like a 10-year-old boy, and it's like he just goes in and it's like pupils like, Master, actually that's enough. He's had enough. He's like, no, he stepped to me, did he not? And then
I love it. Is Derek Bot cooperating again? I don't know. Do we have Derek Bot tonight, or do we have real? I think we have real Derek tonight.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
He's calling you a robot.
Okay.
But
I even said, I wished you well as a happy newlywed. I wanted to know how you are. That's going to be taken away. So
he did wish you well. Now, Derek Dumont.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you this, and then we're going to get into the show.
Okay.
Would you rather fight 20 kindergartners or 5 fifth graders? Like they're a lot bigger at this point. Fifth grades, like they're fixing to hit puberty. Let's go. Okay, let's go 7th graders. 5 7th graders, like they're in puberty. They're starting to get stronger. They're like, but they still don't have complete control of their body. So 5 7th graders. Or 20 kindergartners. Which one would you choose?
I mean, I feel like 20 kindergartners would be a cop-out because it's like they can't fend for themselves. So I would probably get bored because all I would do is just punt them like footballs.
Yeah.
But I feel like the 7th graders would provide a challenge because, yes, they wouldn't have control of their body, but they would make things interesting for like a minute.
Yeah. But like with the kindergartners, you've got numbers. They're ankle biters. Like they're coming in there, they just like, you know what I mean? Like they got they got paint, they got crafts, they got the.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's not going to be as much of a walk in the park as you think it's going to be.
crowd control, almighty push. Just get them out of the way.
True that. True that. You know, worked on some people before.
Yep.
I think instead of going that way, I would want to fight 50 like geriatric old people like from a nursing home.
I guess. Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, they've got weapons, like they've got, canes, walkers, they've got, things.
Yeah, but I mean, if they didn't take the Geritol, they'd probably they wouldn't they wouldn't have much energy to swing it. They just probably like poke you, and it would just be annoying for like a second, and then be like, all right, get out of my way, old man.
They could be like hopped up on like some like serious drugs where they don't feel pain though. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be
yeah, exactly.
But then they would probably overload their heart, and they would probably just go into cardiac arrest.
They got the berserkers in there. Just...
Lord.
Just like running at you, but it's like it cuts to like a wide shot, and it's just like shuffling with like the cane. It just and I'm just like sitting waiting.
Yeah, you gonna make a cup of tea, come back. They're halfway there.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. Well, this is the NerdCave News, where each and every week we run you through all the video game news that you need to know. Everybody's like, what did this show like turn
I
into?
know.
You can watch us live over on youtube.com/NerdCave Network each and every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, or you can check us out later on the replay at YouTube as well. Make sure to hit the subscribe and the like button so you don't miss out on anything. And like it, so more people will get to see the video. We have a podcast version that needs updating. I'm sorry. I'm busy. I'm a busy man.
Kevin, what are you doing?
Kevin's still in
Bora Bora?
Yeah, well, he got hit with the infinite Tsukuyomi.
Oh, no.
He gone, boy. Like,
I mean, fair enough. Like, dead weight gone. You know what I mean? Like, what? Saves us vacation hours.
Yeah, exactly. One of these days, we're going to get that podcast version. But you can go check out the old episodes and go rate us. Apple, Google, Spotify, all those places all across the globe, guys. This episode is brought to you by the Epic Game Store and our wonderful patrons. You can support us by using creator code NerdCave at checkout in the Epic Game Store. Even on free games that help us out, you get those V-Bucks, those Sony games with our creator code and be epic. Guys, you can become part of the ship, part of the exclusive crew by going over to patreon.com/nerdcave, just like our wonderful crew members. The first mate, Brandon Hicks, our helmsman, the conductors, our gunners, Daniel Sanford, Rushing Waters Yoga, Marilyn James, Brittany the Granny B. Harrison, and our deckhand, Martin Sager. I was doing like all these hand motions.
I must say, I like how you went like part William Shatner, part I know. Gosh, who's the person who's very animated with their hands? I can't think of it right now.
I almost started doing like Jiraiya, where he's like doing like the kabuki, like the yeah. Those are my favorite moments. I will tell you that. Like, Amy does not like Jiraiya, which there's reasons. To be fair,
that's understandable.
Not to like Jiraiya. Okay, I'm like, you're a little weird. I'm gonna tell you that.
A little? Let's be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but when he does like there's like the great mountain toad. Like, I love those moments. Those are great. And like the hair whipping and all of that. It's great.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it. I think you want to have I already read that. November is upon us, Derek. Thimble winter is upon us.
It's finally here.
You can feel it in certain places.
Lord.
Our game club game this month is God of War Ragnarok. And we're going to start the show with a little bit of discussion of God of War Ragnarok.
Because it's here, baby.
Yeah, it's here. The counter, we're not even pulling up the counter. Okay?
No, the counter is retired.
Let me see if it. I'm gonna just pull. 000. It's already here, baby. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We done. We in
We
there.
done.
We throwing that axe.
Yeah. Axe body wash. Maybe that's all that is what the Leviathan axe is. Is this axe body wash?
That was the start. That was the inspiration. I mean, it
Yeah.
does keep you cool.
Yeah. Remember like being a kid, like like 15, whatever.
Yeah. And that was the end thing.
Yeah, like where you would spray it so much like you would like literally suffocate yourself.
Oh my gosh. And the people around you be like,
Yeah, exactly. But hey man, you thought you were gonna get you a babe.
Right. Yeah, because that's what it promoted. And I mean, no, what was worse was those kids in high school that wouldn't shower but spray Axe body spray on them and think that would cover up and make it 10 times worse. Like,
yeah. It reminds me of somebody in this game. Reminds me of somebody in God of War Ragnarok that probably stinks to high heavens. He's a little bit of a portly guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I mean, is he a calm and reasonable person?
I don't. Is it does it time to be calm and reasonable?
Yeah, I could be reasonable.
So good. Okay.
So
let's talk about God of War, guys. We're going to try to be non-spoilery here.
Yeah.
Okay. So tread carefully, Derek. I will tread carefully.
Yeah.
Listeners, tread carefully as well. If you don't want things spoiled,
I'll say stay away from the thin ice.
Yeah. If you don't want to know anything about God of War, you want to just experience yourself, and that's how I was going into the game before I played it. I stopped listening to everything. Anything that looked like it might be God of War related, I just avoided like the Black Plague. Okay? So if that's you, put us on mute and Derek will he'll disappear and then hit you in the face and then reappear back into the show. Because he's got that transport jutsu.
The teleportation jutsu?
Yeah, he got that. He got that. So Derek. Let's talk about combat real quick because I think we can do that without really spoiling anything. Do you like the combat in this one compared to the first one?
I do, especially the combat, especially the traversal. Like, I mean, I like it. Like, the thing I have to get used to is like the power up. Like when it said, "Oh, hold triangle to give it like your weapons a boost, an elemental boost." I'm like, okay. And then every time I would like try it, it would take a little like too long, and I would actually, it was more like me having bad timing because enemies would swing at it and then stop. But that and I'm sure there's ways to upgrade it to like make it last longer, but it doesn't last long. It's only good for like one hit, and then that's it. I'm like, okay, there's 3 enemies on screen. One hit's not going to do it.
Yeah, and like the Leviathan axe, like you get a little bit like both of them have like somewhat of a radius effect, but it's not super big.
Yeah.
I think because we just played the first one and I got into such a groove with the first one.
Especially with New Game Plus, like we had already had all of our abilities unlocked, so we were just like, I am a combat god.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that spoiled me, to be 100% honest, because I am having to manage health. I'm playing on like normal difficulty.
Yeah.
But I am having to manage health. Not like New Game Plus where it's like running through fools left and right. Like here I'm like, okay, I've got to like be careful. Like I had like raiders kill me like easily.
Really?
Yeah, at one point like I had fought like the big like the
first boss.
Yeah, the first boss. There we go. Before we get to the bigger one after. That mini boss. Like I was low health after that, and I think Anyway,
I got you know what I'm about to say, up until that point thinking about it, like I didn't get low, I got down to a quarter of health for sure. Well, maybe a little bit more, like just under half.
Yeah, like having to like I feel like it's just like getting used to what it is now.
Yeah. Because I'm sure, like going back at it, like once we started 2018, it was probably the same thing.
Yeah. Like I 2018, I know it was not like, oh, I just feel super powerful. It was like, this is a challenge. The first playthrough. New Game Plus definitely spoiled me. I'm not gonna
Yep.
lie. Um, I'm just trying to get used to the combat. I don't think it's bad by any means. I do
Yeah.
like the verticality. Um,
Yes.
especially like where I'm at right now. I'm not going to spoil anything,
Yeah.
but there's a lot more verticality where I'm currently at
Mm-hmm.
than where we start the game in Midgar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to kind of bring this, one of our complaints about God of War 2018 was the enemy variation.
Yeah.
And I think they have solved that really, really well
Yep.
in this game. Even from the very beginning, like having the raiders and everything, I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. Different types of raiders, bringing in like this totally new kind of mini boss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, once you go a little bit further, like the enemy types vary a lot more. Where I'm
Okay.
currently at, like I was like, okay, this is nice. Bringing back some things that we saw from the first game as well. I was like, I don't feel like I am fighting skin A, skin B,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you
Rinse
know,
and repeat.
the heavy or whatever variation of that.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
which is
or this
nice.
one with the same one with just a different element.
Yeah, okay, this is the fire, this is the cold, which
Yep.
weapon I'm
This one
and
has poison. This one does shock damage. Okay, cool.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm liking that on that. What is something that stood out for you, Derek, for God of War so far?
Would like, all right, because I knew like the last couple weeks they had said, oh, it's gonna be more brutal this time. Like not like obviously
Yeah.
like rip innards out, but I was fighting the raiders and I swung one time and like I threw the axe at him and like it was one of the ranged raiders and I threw the axe at their range and they like cut their arm off. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what they mean. And this can alter like some scenarios and like some
Hmm.
gameplay, like especially if you have to do crowd control. It's like, oh, I got a ranged one firing down that won't leave me alone. Let me
Yep.
chop off your throwing arm real quick, and so that way I have a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah. And some of the finishing moves, like I saw one that is very similar to one that we got in the first one. But
Yeah,
dude, like Kratos is literally like decapitating or chopping people in half, and you're seeing like the bodies like literally like crumple in different
yeah,
directions and everything.
yeah,
And like it is very visceral in that, like, not to the like I think about Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah,
Ghost was very gory,
yeah,
regardless of who you were fighting.
exactly.
Like God of War, I feel like is like only time we see something like that is when you're like finishing an opponent off with
Yeah,
a
like finishing
finisher.
a god or like a boss.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I think Tsushima might have been a little bit too much. That's why I turned the gore off, because literally you would like hit
Yeah,
somebody with a sword and it's just like all of you. I knew it's more realistic that way.
yeah,
But I'm digging it, man. With the gameplay, the movement feels super solid.
yep,
The shield feels even better than the
yeah.
first game,
Surprisingly, I agree with that.
and like I can't talk about it because you haven't got there so far.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like the improvements that they did, like the first game was so solid, dude. I was like, how are they going to improve on the gameplay mechanics
mm-hmm.
and being able to use the chains to be able to get to higher vantage points,
Yep,
move around and everything just
so
makes it
fluid.
feel so much nicer than what the first one was. Climbing that stupid gold chain. I hate those
I
things.
know. And well, and I mean, and I shouldn't be surprised when I say this, right? But like the vertical traversal, like I thought, all right, you'd have to aim it, then like get it right there, wait for the prompt
Hmm.
to pull up on the aim down sights, and then throw it up there. It's like, no, just press this one button and it'll automatically do it for you. I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
is so much better. And then
Yeah.
it's like, and they even took that into account, like with the combat, like it pulled up a prompt, like when I got in the certain area with the raiders, and it's like, oh, if you sprint, you can do like a death from above
Yep.
swipe. I'm like, oh, all right, this is like Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima. Let's go, let's do it.
Yeah. And I love that they added that to the game. It makes it more than just kind of a key of B flat, if you will. Like
Yeah, exactly.
we're in the key of D flat now. We got a lot more flats to play with, and it's sounding jazzy right now. That's jazz, if you will. Um, the graphics, dude,
Oh
look
my god.
amazing.
Oh my god, like so much more deep. Like I was telling this, like hinted at a little bit before we went live. It's like, yeah, we had a month gap between 2018 and Ragnarok, but it's like seeing the details, especially that power that
Mhm.
PS5 is
Oh
like
yeah,
night and day. Like 2018 looked good. Don't
yeah,
get me wrong, and that was in the hype. Like that was in the like the apex of the PS4's prime. But seeing on that, the more horsepower they can put in, the more detail the house has, the more detail
yep.
the world has, the more detail on Kratos and Atreus is just like, oh my gosh, this is like great. It's really like that
Yeah.
opening scene, like because we've seen it, like we saw it in that one trailer where Kratos is sitting in that cave with the little like I don't know if it's wolf skin, bear skin, and just like
Yeah.
seeing it like flow. And I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my god, this is so good.
There are moments in that beginning part before they
Hmm.
even leave that are so subtle, like with
Yep.
the acting and everything, that it's like this is where we're at with storytelling and mocap and games. Like it is on the level of what I would consider like just like the subtle things. Like there's a part with
Yeah.
Kratos, he looks pleased with what Atreus has done. He doesn't say
Hmm.
anything. He just like
Yep.
gives this look, and it's like that right there. That is a video game, and it's doing something that great movies and television shows are doing now, but it's a
Yep.
video game, and that makes me so excited for the medium.
Yes, and I'm about to say it's making it to where it's like, all right, this is another reason why you should take it more seriously. It's not just a hobby, like yes, it
Yep.
is, but it's also a serious thing too. Um, but yeah, like you said, and like we saw that hints of it in 2018, right? Especially in the beginning, like when Kratos and Atreus started their journey, like when he's teaching Atreus how to hunt in
Hmm.
2018, and then it's like. Atreus is downtrodden and whatever, and Kratos goes to reach out his hand and pulls it back. I'm like, touch
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and then this one, like they just like we said going into this, right? They just are building upon this, like
Hmm.
with the sequel, and it's like, all right, here's the things we did well. How can we make it better? And they're doing it so
Yeah.
far in the opening hours that we've played. And it's like I obviously we're not going to get into this like too deep in the story, but it's like they're already setting up things and setting the tone for to
Yes.
expect from this duology. And it's like, bro, like I am already hyped. Like that one, like the second boss fight that we had, that moment,
Hmm.
like when like things collide and it makes this thing, and it's just like wow, like this is
Yeah.
just like so, and then like how they're walking just casually around the battlefield. I'm like, bro, this is setting the tone, and I'm loving it. I am here for it.
Yeah. And the writing, like I want to get into this so bad, dude. Like I
I
really
know,
do.
I
But I don't
know.
want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't played it. Um, the writing definitely feels like they've taken a next step because we have spent a whole game with these characters. We've
Yeah.
spent so much time. We've known where they started from and where they are now. We've had a time jump, clearly.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how long it's been, but it seems like it's been a while.
I think in the previews they said, because I think they said Fimbulwinter lasts 3 years, so I think it's been about 3 years.
Okay, so like Atreus is older. Um, he's even Kratos says this at one point. He's like, "You've gotten stronger. You've gotten better."
Hmm.
Like I'm not going to go any further than that because it's
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah, yeah.
But
Like you see it.
yeah, you do see it, and there's a moment. I'm not going to give away what it is,
Hmm.
but I cry. Like I'm talking about within the first like 40 minutes of the game, I
Oh,
cried
yep. Because
profusely.
I teared up a little bit. Like if it's the same thing I'm talking about, because
Yep.
is it back when
Back
they
of the
come
house.
back
Yep.
out of the
Yep.
cave?
Yep. Back of the
Okay, yeah,
house.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, yep, that's that same part I'm thinking of. Like, and it wasn't the fact that it happened. Like, it wasn't the
Yeah.
fact of like what was happening. It was how it was portrayed. It was how it was written. It
Yes.
was how it was detailed in the scene. That I'm just like, I feel this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
holy cow! Like this thing that's happening that I know is just a cycle of life. It happens like, and I have no attachment to what's going on. But it's like, man, well. I shouldn't say that. I have no attachment to what's being portrayed on the screen, but they're portraying to me through the screen that, hey, this has happened with everyone. This is just a part of life, like, and it resonated with
Yeah.
me because I've had
Yeah.
those moments, and
Yeah.
it's just like how it was portrayed was just done so well because they know how to do this. This is their
Yep.
first rodeo, and it's like, bro, if it's already getting me in the opening hour. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a ride.
Exactly. And like even in that first hour, you got this it the pacing is amazing. The pacing
Yeah.
is amazing from where you start the journey, you're seeing like where both of them are at
Mhm.
to this epic sleigh ride essentially
Yeah.
to when you get back home. There's
Mhm.
several things that happen when you get back home. The
Man, and that's another thing too. How is it? Um, how is it that they just like to all the big stuff, like the big set piece moments in the beginning, happen at home? Like,
Yeah.
can they just not eat dinner in peace?
It's like, man, I'd be moving. I'd be like pulling up stake. I'd be like, I ain't staying here no more. I'm gone. I'm gone. We gone.
Yeah.
Nobody here. Nobody here. One thing that I thought was cool was like you go over to where you had the fight with Balder in the first game,
Hmm.
and like Mimir literally says something about Balder's like cavern or something like that,
Yeah.
like how all of it's
Oh, the chasm. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the chasm. Like he calls it Baldur's Chasm, and I was like, that is so cool.
It is like I didn't even say it's like, huh? He wouldn't be down. They wouldn't be down here. I'm like, oh, you named it this. That's so great because that's how the open. Because I mean, it was a result of the beginning
Yeah,
fight in the first game.
yeah, exactly. So like, I just love those little details. I loved how they explained away. You don't have any of the powers that you used to because
Yeah,
Fimbulwinter has kind of stripped all of that away. Like everything is
yeah.
being, eroded away from this big storm, this big winter and everything. And like, dude, so good. So good.
Yeah. Yep.
We could talk so much more about God of War Ragnarok. Derek, what is one
Hmm.
thing you want to leave everybody before we jump into the news?
Hmm.
Why do you think? Welcome, Nathan. Welcome
Yeah.
everybody else to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hit that like button so more people get to see the stream and we know that you like it.
The other thing that I'll leave, like, this is like, again, setting the tone, is at the end of the boss fight, like the fact of that you don't even really finish the fight because they're trying to get the real Kratos to come out,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah.
like, and then you just get that hint of it, and then it's like, oh, I'm satisfied now. Come and find me. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. It's like
Oh boy, this is a cat and mouse game.
it's like there he is.
Yep.
There is one part in the fight, dude, where it is like like I've seen it in other games,
Hmm.
but it is done so well where it splashes a menu for a second. It was
Yeah.
like, I'm not done with you yet.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
How did I like? And I thought like I was legitimately dead. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, how am I supposed to get around this? Because it was like a quick time event or whatever. And I'm just like, and then you hear the voice. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, this is not normal.
And then like, oh man, we can't say anymore, guys. Let's get
I know
into what is and what forever will be the gaming discussion. Because I want to talk about
the
God of
normal
War.
is not the normal anymore. Never put down the controller.
Alan Wake Remastered sells under expectations, generated no royalties for Remedy.
So, this follows up news back in May when Remedy revealed that Alan Wake Remastered had yet to recoup its development costs. The game was recently released for the Nintendo Switch, so there's a chance this may push sales up a bit, but it remains to be seen. For now, at least, Remedy confirmed that, quote, development fees from Codename Condor and Alan Wake Remastered and game royalties from Control decreased from the comparison period. Alan Wake Remastered and Crossfire did not generate royalties. I mean, probably was or control they meant. That was a typo from the article. Um, so I have two questions for you on this because it it's not alarming per se But Alan Wake, right? So my first
Mhm.
question is, do you think this is more of like, hey, it's a niche game? Because it started out as a niche game on
Yeah.
360, then it
Yeah.
just came to PS4 and Switch. Like I think it's. Do you think this is more of like, hey, everyone who played it on Xbox has played it, and people who played it on PlayStation and Switch, like Switch was a cloud version. They never give out cloud numbers per se,
Yeah.
so it's hard to determine that. But with PS4, do you think people were just like, huh? Like either it was either a marketing thing that they weren't sold that, hey, it's on PlayStation now, it's not just an exclusive anymore. Do you think it's more of just like the PlayStation people that wanted to play it have played it, and Xbox people were like, it's the same thing with the DLC. I did this already several times. I don't need to buy it again, type of thing.
I think it is as much of an amazing game Alan Wake is.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't play it when it first came out,
You
a
missed
lot
the
of
boat.
yeah, you missed the boat. I don't think a lot of people, were like, "Oh, let me play this game." Like, yeah, I got a remaster,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, let me play this game that came out in 2009 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like not a lot of people played it back then. Like it
Yeah.
has its kind of cult following and everything, but as much as we like Alan Wake, as much as I have touted how amazing the game is, it is a small game. It is
Yeah.
not, this big thing. And, like expecting people to jump on Alan Wake, I think, it's kind of like EA with Dead Space 3. They were kind of
Yeah.
like out there, like we're expecting this huge number and everything. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not that kind of game. It's very niche. Horror games do sell well, but
Mm-hmm.
you've got to look at the type of horror games, like it's first person shooters.
Right.
It's these very story, choice driven things, and the story of Alan Wake is amazing, but it's not the same as like supermassive games or
Right.
RE or anything like that. It's
Right.
its own thing, and I just don't think, it's like you might have had expectations, but you might have had unrealistic ones.
Yeah. So my next question is, because all right, because I was thinking, I had a little insight into me. Had a shower thought yesterday because because I had put the doc together before, gotten then it's like, all right, I'm done, got in the shower. Then I was thinking about this particular article here, and it got me thinking. It's like Remedy and Quantic Dream have had very similar paths in their game development,
Hmm.
because they had these cult niche hits come
Yep.
were their first game with Heavy Rain and Alan Wake that did well, but it
Yep.
didn't take the world by storm. Like they were just getting their feet wet,
Yeah.
and arguably both like suspense, thriller, murder mystery type things. Then their next game, Beyond Two Souls, Quantum Break,
Yep.
good. They got more push, they got more marketing, but underperformed again. Then it was the third time's a charm with
Hmm.
Control and Detroit Become Human.
Yep.
That's the one that, when you think of them, that's the game you think of, because
Yep.
it's not only their most recent one, it was their most critically acclaimed, like won a bunch of awards, was
Yep.
up for game of the like a game award type of things. So that's what they're known for. Um Now it's like, all right, Alan Wake 2, and they've got some other like Control universe stuff. Quantic Dream has a Star Wars game in development.
Hmm.
And granted, Quantic Dream has gone a different direction in terms of like culture than Remedy.
Yep.
But for Remedy's sake, because Alan Wake 2 is next year. I forget if they've given an exact date. I don't think so. Um, but I know it's 2023. Or maybe it's April. Maybe April sticks out to me for some reason. Anyway, um, do you think what all right, let's say Alan Wake 2 comes out, and now granted Remedy's not Square Enix, and they are not going to set unrealistic expectation numbers. But if this game doesn't, let's just say 5 million or less copies, right? If
Hmm.
this game doesn't like automatically do gangbusters, do you think the Alan Wake franchise would be done, or do you think what would be more in trouble, the Alan Wake franchise or Remedy?
Now, is Remedy owned by Microsoft?
No, they're not. They did
Okay.
partnerships with
Okay.
them,
They've done
but
partnerships.
now that they kind of like ended their contract deal with them or whatever. So they're like, that's why Control, because Control was their first multi-platform game.
That's right. That's right. Um, I think it will hurt the studio if it doesn't do well.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's just got 2023. It doesn't have a date yet.
Okay.
Maybe they will avoid first quarter because first quarter right now
Is
is
crazy.
crazy. Um, and I think
Um.
hitting like early summer, like when things kind of die down before they like pick
Yeah.
right back up, would be good time for Alan Wake. I think if it doesn't do well for the series is done. We're going to just get the second one, and that's it.
Hmm.
And I think Remedy will look for more guaranteed revenue sources. You know, like Control.
Hmm.
Control did really well. It sold really well.
Yes.
It reviewed really well. It was in the Game of the Year discussion
Hmm.
that year and everything. So I think they go heavy into that, which I know
Yeah.
they're going to make a second one for it. They've already been talking about it, and
Yeah.
I'm love that they have already brought in like Alan Wake into that universe, had that in the first game and everything. And it's
Hmm.
like if the second one doesn't do well, which I hope that it does, because
Yeah.
again, I love the first game. The first game is amazing. If it doesn't do well, then it doesn't do well. Like it might be one of those games that just it was a space and time where
Yep.
it was meant to be, and now like we've got different games, we got new games, like just like God of War.
Yeah.
God of War changed. I don't know, not everybody. I know Murdoch doesn't like God of War
Yeah.
2018 and everything, and I know there are other people that don't like that. They like the other version of God of War. But if that came out, if they brought a new God of War out that was just like the other ones,
Yeah.
even if it would have had the great story, it wouldn't have had the heaviness and gravitas. Like the
Exactly.
combat makes that game. Like the story is amazing, but the
Hmm.
combat propels you. It's literally the thing that you do all the time in that
Yep.
game. And
Yep.
if it was just the camera where it's locked in and like you're like it wouldn't have been the same. Like you would
Mm-mm.
not have explored the same way. You wouldn't have enjoyed the world the same way. And Alan Wake, hopefully they come in and they freshen it up. You know, you got to look at the other games that are in that genre. You got to look at
Yeah.
all the games that have done really well in that horror kind of genre because it's like the thriller horror kind of thing,
Yeah.
and see what have they done well since Alan Wake 1 came out. You know, I'm not even talking about American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Um,
We don't talk about that anyway.
yeah, but it's like you've got to look and you've got to, you know, it's like do we stand out and do we fit in at the same time to what is kind of the perspective of
Yeah.
what games are these days, you know?
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, while multiplayer games have changed, single player games have evolved too. In the
Hmm.
fact, like we talked about earlier with God of War, like that, it's not just the dialogue, it's what you see
Yeah.
on screen, it's how it's portrayed, it's through the motions, through the facial expressions, like it's all of it. Like it's all got to be put up in a package and put a bow on it to make it appealing.
Yep. 100%. So I hope
So,
I hope good for Remedy. I want them to do well. I love their company. I love their games. I want Alan Wake 2 to do well and for us to keep getting awesome games. So only time will tell. But let's move into our next story. Nintendo and mobile company DENA establish a joint venture company called Nintendo Systems.
so it's funny to have DNA come up in talks again because they did a partnership and you just thought, okay, they're kind of done. Not so fast, like a phoenix from the ashes, they rise up. Nintendo and DNA, the mobile company responsible for helping Nintendo developers Super Mario Run, Mario Kart Tour, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and more, have established a joint venture company called Nintendo Systems. Nintendo announced the news as part of the fiscal year ending March 2023 6 months earnings release and has stated the purpose of this new company will be, quote, for research and development as well as operations to strengthen the digitalization of Nintendo's business in addition to the creation of value-added services. Nintendo also entrusts DNA with joint development and operation of membership services for various devices. The amount of capital for the joint venture will be, quote, greater than 10% of that of Nintendo, so Nintendo Systems will become a, quote, specified subsidiary of Nintendo. The capital in question is 5 billion yen or roughly 34 million US dollars. The company will be located in Tokyo, and Nintendo will contribute 80% of the capital. Quote, with the integrated hardware software model at the core of its business, Nintendo also strives to provide enhanced experience and service outside of its dedicated gaming system. In order to provide this experience in a holistic manner, Nintendo is working to maintain and expand its relationship with consumers primarily through Nintendo Account. As part of this effort, Nintendo entered a business and capital alliance with DNA in 2015 and has collaborated to develop and operate the new core system centered around Nintendo Account since then. Based on the expertise accumulated over the 7 years plus and the experience of co developing multiple services based on Nintendo Account, Nintendo and DNA will advance their partnership and establish a joint venture company. With the objective to strengthen the digitalization of Nintendo's business, the joint venture company will research and develop, as well as create value-added services to further reinforce Nintendo's relationship with consumers. A lot of jargon at the end, but the basis
Mm,
is saying Nintendo. I think the big takeaway from this is Nintendo is doubling down on the mobile front. Like, yes, it is making them a lot of money, even though the games kind of go stale after its initial release.
yeah.
Like, yeah, Mario Kart Tour, Mario Run were popular, but after about a few months, died off. Pocket Camp was probably one of the ones that kind of stayed like steady for like 3-4 months, and then staved
Yeah.
off once New Horizons was announced. Um, but good for them. I think Nintendo sees money in the mobile market, especially since I think, well, not saying that no other companies don't use it, but it's like it's like more specific things like Xbox is using the cloud gaming, or
Yep.
like the cloud
XCloud.
gaming for their mobile. Like they don't do their own mobile exclusives per se, but it's more like, hey, you can play, if you have Game Pass, you can play it on your phone.
Yeah.
And then like we see Call of Duty mobile, with Warzone and Fortnite and PUBG, but
Hmm.
those are all one game. It's
Hmm.
not like a series of games. So Nintendo's like, people are still playing on their phones, but it's more of like, not a niche is like the not the right word, but I can't think of another, like, a better term to use for it. But it's like, hey, we can capitalize on this by creating a series of games on
Yeah.
mobile from our IP that people love. Like, hey, Mario, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, you all names you recognize, you can play on mobile. So, what are your thoughts of this?
For my thought is sorry, hold on. Moving you over. There we go. Boom. I think it's they're investing smartly in what the market is there. Like clearly, look at Candy Crush. Look at
Yep.
because Blizzard owns them.
Yep. And now
You
Xbox does.
No, Xbox does. But like you look at that market and it's like people are making money, and
Yep.
Nintendo is about handhelds.
Mm,
So boom, you got a handheld and everything. But I think it's like the games that you named did well overall, but like you look at Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem games that came out on mobile
yeah.
made boo
Yeah.
koodles, and
Yeah.
still are making boo koodles of money. And they see that, and it's like, okay, if we do this right, if we give a reason for people to stick around, if we, have someone develop these games for us, take our properties, treat them with the respect that they're supposed to
Hmm.
have, we're able to move into that space that we've wanted to move into, and they've already laid groundwork and everything. So I think it was a matter of time to see them either pull up stakes or say no, we're here for the long haul. And I'm kind of glad that they are. I'm kind of glad that they're not just going like, yeah, it didn't work out. Because I know Nintendo is kind of known for it's like if it doesn't work out, we'll leave it, and we'll you know
Yeah.
we'll do the same exact thing, but we'll name it something different. Um, they're pretty bad about that at
Yeah.
times. But I like that they're doubling down, that they're even creating a whole Nintendo systems, that they're putting up capital for this,
Yeah.
and that they're going to go for the long haul. And people are going to have phones, dude. Over
Oh yeah.
having a game system, people will always have a phone, and I think that's what they're trying to reach into. It's like every day you're gonna have your phone on you. Like when you
Yeah.
go to the
Exactly.
bathroom, you're gonna have your phone on you. When you go to work, you're gonna have your phone on you.
Yep.
Whatever, like you go to bed, guess where your phone is? Right beside you. Where's your Switch? It's in the
Yeah.
dock.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Even
So,
if you have a Switch, Derek doesn't even have a Switch because he's not a true believer, um, not a true gamer. You know what I mean? Didn't even have a Vita
mm.
either.
I did have a Vita. I just barely played it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you didn't have a Vita.
so I have two questions
Okay.
pertaining to this. So my first question is, do you think it's a slight, because they just had a partnership with DNA. Do you think it's
Mm,
smart to, like, and maybe DNA had like one of, like, they want, like, maybe the deal was up and they wanted to re-up, and DNA's like
yep.
sort of like with MLB was like, hey, we want to continue working with you, but we'd rather go in this direction, to hold more of a financial security going forward than what we've been doing, aka want to get a bigger slice of that pie because y'all made some money. um do you think it was a smart move to do like a joint venture, or do you think they should have just stuck with what they did before?
Sorry, I was coughing.
Oh, you're fine.
Um, I think it was probably more Nintendo
Mm.
protecting themselves. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna own 80% of this. You get 20%. Like you've got to put up 20% of the capital. We'll split revenue 80-20, whatever,
Yeah.
and we're going to set you up for success and everything. And it is up to you to see how far this thing can go, because Nintendo is like when they did this first deal, like Nintendo does not go outside of Nintendo to work with anybody.
They really don't.
And I think that they were kind of like, okay, it worked, but we feel more safe if we have our own version of this in house, and we want to
Yeah.
keep you on, and we're going to give you a piece of the pie, but it's going to be under our branch and
Yeah.
not you. And I think
Yeah.
that's what it really comes down to is Nintendo being Nintendo, and they want it to be theirs and not have to, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we own this right out. You're going to
Yeah.
get this percentage, and you can work with us on, this time. Like, I don't think DNA is going to literally have any ownership of any of this. I
Mm.
think
So do
DNA.
you think, do you, oh, well, go ahead.
I think they're literally just going to have to put up some capital to be able to work, since they're
Yeah.
like. But I don't think DNA is going to own any of this.
Okay. So that brings, like, call it question 1A, if you will. Um for this.
Okay.
Do you think eventually Nintendo will buy DNA and just have, because uh Sony like has their own PC, like I
Mm,
think they're forming, correct me if I'm wrong, don't they have their own mobile company now too, or are going to work on making a mobile division?
I'm not 100
I could
percent
be
sure
wrong.
on that.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
know
sure.
they have their
Maybe
own
I'm,
like they have their own PC port kind of like division
yeah,
of
yeah,
things,
for
and then they have
Nixus.
like they're like developing the whole like live streaming side of stuff. But I don't remember
Maybe
like.
that's what I'm thinking of. But do you think Nintendo will like own their own like mobile division company?
Well, that's what this essentially is. It's like, okay,
Oh,
we're gonna. That's what this whole Nintendo Systems is a
okay.
mobile
I
thing.
looked at it as just like a, like, not because it's not like Nintendo's buying them, but they're trying to
Mm-mm.
like working together, like they're like a merger.
Yeah, well, it's like bringing in a consultant into your business that knows how to do
Yeah,
something. Nintendo is setting this up. They're going to have people in there that are going to be trained by these people,
yeah,
and it's smart business. It's like you bring in someone that's good at it, you get
yeah,
them to train everybody, and then you cut ties with them, or you keep them on as like a consultant every now and then to help you, and that's
yeah,
it. That's kind of what I look at it as, is Nintendo doesn't want to keep playing ball with other people. They want to have their own stuff
yeah.
to do things with. So
And then question number two. Do you think this eventually will lead to like some of those mobile games like Mario Run and Animal Crossing Pocket Camp coming to Switch, just like as a handheld only thing? Like obviously you wouldn't be able to play it on TV, but just as like handheld mode.
I don't think so. I think it'll stay its
Okay.
own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see some kind of iteration, like they try it with one, and if it doesn't do well, they don't do anymore. But
I don't think
you
they
know,
did that well anyway. Like I think
yeah,
initially they popped off like Mario Run did. And
Mm-hmm.
well, Pocket Camp did really well for a long time. But
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't know, if the only way I could see Pocket Camp doing well is because there's no new content coming to Animal Crossing, and
That's true.
that would be kind of like the half step between the next one to
Hmm.
come on Switch and everything. Like that is literally the only way I think it would do well. Is
Yeah.
it, like it's between the next iteration of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that
Okay.
that's my thought. That's my thought
Okay.
on that. But let's move into some more news, Derek. Halo Infinite promises shorter seasons, more consistent content drops, and bigger things to come. Well, believe it when I see it.
Yeah, right. So 343 shared the message on Halo Waypoint, saying it knows the journey from Halo Infinite's launch, quote, hasn't been the smoothest or quickest ride. It also said that the winter update, which adds match and performance based XP, the Forge mode beta, the official launch of online campaign co op and campaign replay, 2 new maps and a new battle pass, the Covert One Flag game mode, and more, is a big moment for the studio. The winter update marks a major step forward for our game and studio, but this is just the step of that evolution. The team is effectively working on key player experience priorities across the game to address areas of feedback, and we are targeting another game update before the end of this year. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we can't wait to return. And we can't wait to turn this corner with you all in 2023 as we look to shorter seasons, a more regular stream of content, and bigger things to come. End quote. Like you said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I do think. How about this? I think if anything, the thing I think they can nail the most is more consistent content drops because, like you said, like we talked about earlier in the year, these 6 months battle like seasons are way too long. You get
Yep.
stale way too quick, and the content you can speed through in like maybe the first month, maybe two, depending on how often you play. So the more content drops, I think will be the easiest and quickest thing to turn about and stay consistent with.
Mhm.
Because it, even if it's just, some mediocre things, like at least they can say, hey, we're putting out new stuff. The shorter seasons, my inkling is season 3 will still be a little long in the tooth. I don't think it'll be 6 months, but I think it'll be close to the 4 or 5 month range. And
Mhm.
then season 4 will be like, hey, 2 months and we're on to the next thing. Um, Bigger things to come. I hope that is a story expansion. Like, I hope it's not just multiplayer. I hope it will be like like the first, peek into what the expanded story will look like post
Yeah.
credit scene wise. So we'll see.
Yeah. For me, we got the wolf pack. I'm the alpha dog. Ow!
Mm.
Um, I have not jumped into this winter update yet. I know that
Yeah.
they've added stuff, campaign co-op
Mm-hmm.
online, which I'm really excited to get in and play with a bunch of people and everything. Um, for me, going forward, which I love playing Halo. It's the multiplayer game that I enjoy the most. I think the time to kill is great.
Yep.
Like it's a little bit slower of a game compared to like a twitchy shooter like Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to fix a lot of things. Um, and
Yeah.
they've got to stop doing stupid stuff with this game. That's
Yeah.
just literally like um they're taking out a feature that literally like 1% of the 1% use.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you taking this movement feature out when literally 1% of the 1% use?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like, there's like 4 people that use it like in competitive play, and they're the
Yeah.
only ones that literally can do it.
Hmm.
Because it's like it's a huge skill gap to be able to do this sort of movement and everything.
Yeah. Hmm.
That all being said, just putting cosmetics in the store is not going to do it. There's got to be events. There's got to be things that draw people back to this
Yeah.
thing, and not just like every 3 months we get an event, or we put out the Easter event that we didn't do, and we do it twice.
That's true. I forgot about that. Oh,
The
that's
the yappening was
yeah,
literally the Easter event that they didn't do, and
yeah.
they did it twice essentially, like the same
Woof.
outfit and cosmetic and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Woof.
it's like they've got to have events. They've got to have things to bring people in, not just trying to like put in some weird mode every now and then to just buy people over and everything. It's like you've got to have consistent things. That's the reason why
Yeah.
Fortnite does so well. That's the reason why Warzone, the
Yeah.
reason why Apex does so well is that they're actually a live service. Halo has been a zombie service where
Yeah.
it's somewhat alive, but it's dragging around. It
Barely has a
doesn't
pulse.
yeah, it doesn't have a brain. It's just been out there in Never Land, and like yes, we're getting Forge, which I'm excited for. I think it's going to
Mhm.
bring some really cool stuff to the game, but it's like, is this a little too late? You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are done. A lot of people are not coming back to Halo.
Wow.
And it's just like that's just the fact. And then you've got the people like me, you got the people like Nate, you got the people that play, the Wolf Pack and everything. It's
Yeah.
like not everybody is, going to come back. You're going to have your hardcore, but like, what do you do to get like those numbers that you had when you launched?
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
exactly. Like, what are you gonna like? How are you gonna recoup this? Like, obviously, you can't get everyone back, but you gotta get pump those numbers up, kid.
Yeah. And I think the way you do that is, like you said, a story DLC. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're finally getting co-op, which I'm excited
yeah,
and everything. But yeah, it's I don't know. Nate says Halo does feel like it's running better, and Sean W has been posting a lot with custom Forge games, but they have been with people from his Discord. It does seem like they're getting their act together. They only nerfed snap slides. Lucid still did one on stream, but there you go. And that's what I'm talking about, snap slides and everything. But
mm.
I want to be optimistic.
Yeah. You want to believe?
I want to believe, but I don't think I can believe
Yeah,
at
not
this
till you
point.
see results.
Yeah. Like the stuff that they put in here, I'm excited for. I'm going to be playing with everybody on this. We'll see how next year goes.
Yep.
We'll see how next year goes, and can they get it down to 12-week seasons? I think that's perfect amount of
Yeah.
time. Give 12-week seasons. That's enough time to. It's like you got 12 weeks to do this, and it puts enough pressure on the player to like, well, I need to play. I got to play every week. I got to get on there. I got to do these games, or I'm going to be left behind.
Yeah.
When it is 6 months, like I haven't even finished season two's battle pass because it was like, I'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
You know
Must
what
say
I
you
mean?
have plenty of time.
I had plenty of time, but like there was months where I didn't even play, dude. Like to where
Mm.
I was before playing multiple times a week. Early, when it
Yeah.
first came out, like I was literally playing Monday, Tuesday night, and a little bit before or after NerdCave News when it first came
Yeah.
out. Like I was literally
Yeah.
playing almost every stream. And now it's like, I'll get around to it if I want to, you
Yeah.
know. Like I haven't
Hmm.
played in a few weeks. So Nate says, if they do events and if the game got more consistent with gameplay, they would pull people back. Yeah, I think so. I think consistent events, and there are a group of players that they come for the story and then they will come for the multiplayer afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I think if you can bring people back in with some sort of story and then link that into the multiplayer side of things, like the whole lone wolf thing, the whole we're gonna do story in the multiplayer, dude, that was so flippin' lame
I
and
know.
never panned out, and it was like this is a disappointment. Like
Tell
don't
tell me what game, especially multiplayer centric games or multiplayer only games with no story. Tell me how that goes when they try and integrate some type of story into their game. No one cares and it doesn't work.
no, the only ones that do that well is Fortnite. I think
Yeah.
Fortnite is the only one that is
Well,
like
because
Call of
it's an
Duty.
original thing.
Yeah, like Call of Duty is done okay, but then like they get in those stupid events like the Godzilla King Kong thing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just
Ugh.
it's bad. That was not good. That was not a good idea. So I want Halo to do well. I want this to be exciting. I want people to be excited to play Halo again. We'll just see what time tells. We
Yep.
will see what time tells. Just like we're going to see some PlayStation news right now. First up in the PlayStation news, Horizon MMO is reportedly in the works from Sony and NC Soft.
According to MTN via VGC, the Horizon franchise, which includes Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, is heading online with an MMO from the makers of Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. NCSoft is said to be currently recruiting for the project, which is referred to as Project H in the company's job adverts. However, NCSoft has refused to confirm the existence of the game, stating, quote, "It is difficult to confirm information about unpublished projects that are currently under development." According to VGC, developer Guerrilla Games has long planned to develop multiplayer in the Horizon franchise, with co op initially planned for the very first game. However, this feature was scrapped to allow the team to focus on, quote, "other areas." Sony was reportedly keen to include co op in Forbidden West, but Guerrilla Games shelved this in favor of including multiplayer in a future project, either a sequel or an online spin off. However, this push towards an MMO comes after Sony announced earlier this year that it plans to launch 10 live service games by March 31st, 2026 via its partnership with Bungie. Through close collaboration with Bungie and the PlayStation Studios, we aim to launch more than 10 live service games by the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2026, says Sony CFO Hiroki Totuk. Clearly, Sony is keen to develop this further with Horizon. Um, Again, with live service, it makes sense. We've heard rumblings of Horizon multiplayer,
Yep.
Horizon co-op. We've heard this is rumbling, so it only makes sense to make it its own standalone game. I don't know if an MMO like okay, it's a good and a bad thing with me for this if it's
Yep.
true. It would be good for an MMO because of how the world is with its art. It already has the RPG systems an MMO would use. Theirs, they would just pretty much have to expand on it and make it more of like an online format, get deeper with character features and customization and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But the tools are there to make it work, especially like with the machine types and all that. Like, oh my gosh, can you imagine a Slitherfang as a raid boss? Like that'd just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it to me, I'm kind of hesitant because it's like, okay, do we want to like multiplayer like Last of Us factions would be more appealing to me than an MMO. But like I said, it would be easy to do because of the assets. But I don't know if an MMO is the right choice for the Horizon series. But Guild Wars is a very popular franchise. It is a long running franchise. Like heck, 2 is still going. I don't know how strong the numbers are anymore for
It's not
player
super strong.
count.
It's not
Yeah,
super
but
strong.
when it came out, it was like dominant force for like at least half a decade.
Yep.
Um, so it's got a pedigree behind it at least. But like I
Hmm.
said, my biggest concern is like, is an MMO the right move?
I think an MMO is interesting. Like if Final Fantasy 14 wouldn't have come out and done as well as it did,
True.
especially like recently, I would say no. MMOs are kind of like a thing of the past.
Mm-hmm.
New World did all right, but I think their issue was more of not having the content to be able to like deliver like in-game stuff, and that's
Yeah.
like MMOs is all about the end game. It's not about like just the regular story. It's like the
Right.
stuff past that, and that's one reason why SWOTOR like had a lot of issues after launch. It didn't have that longevity, and
Right.
still, like it took 10 years for us to get a few like actual add-ons to the game and everything. So for Horizon to do well as an MMO, it has the makings of a lot of awesome things. You've got several different tribes, you've got several
Mm-hmm.
different civilizations.
Yep.
You've got like in those civilizations, you've got different kind of factions where like the
Mm-hmm.
style of fighting. You've got craftsmen, you've got hunters, you've got gatherers. You've got so
Mm-hmm.
many different things within that universe, and the lore is so deep
Yep.
there.
Especially with how much they expanded upon with Forbidden West.
Exactly. And like you've got the different machines. You could do so much. And what you could even do past that is we saw the new faction that got well, we saw several new factions
Yeah.
get added, but the one that was across the water from um the main,
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
like we could see like something being added on as DLC in this MMO where you go there, like
Yeah.
explore there and everything. So,
Man, how crazy would it be to live out your Tanakh fantasy though? Like
oh
that
my
that
god.
just popped in my head. Like, whoo.
I think I don't know which one I would go with. Like either Sky or, I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which clan? Yeah, that'd be cool. Ooh, yeah. I'd have to think about that one too.
Yeah, yeah. So like there's a lot of things there, and like the combat would not be what we have gotten in, you know, the main games, because it's got to
Yeah.
be MMO. You got to have like different skills. It's got to, it's not necessarily quote unquote real time,
Right.
but it's you got to have like your skills sets, your cooldowns, and all of that. I think Horizon actually could do a fantastic job of this. It's just getting it to that point where it's interesting, the story is interesting, and we're not relying on Aloy to be
Yep.
that character that drives it forward. And to be 100% honest, I don't think everybody likes Aloy.
Yeah.
Like I think this could be a good way to see this universe through fresh eyes,
Mm-hmm.
through your own eyes, because this is the character that you are creating, and not
Mm-hmm.
having to like, because there's time in the second game I'm just like, I want to slap her so hard. It's like,
Especially in the beginning.
yeah, I can do this all by myself. It's like, no, you can't. You cannot.
No.
Do you not remember that fight with
Stop it.
Hades? Like that was not just you. That was everybody
Right.
else.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like,
Like you would have been crushed if it wasn't for other people there.
so I think they could do a good job. I like them, the company, NCSoft, having done Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a company that's like, we're gonna make an MMO. It's like, no, they've actually had two MMOs that have done really well.
Yep.
Um, if you remember our friend Sheffer, he was
Yeah.
huge into Guild Wars and Guild Wars
Mm-hmm.
2. Tried to get me into it. I never got into it, but um, they do a really good job of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I want to see what we can get from this. If it does come out, I'm playing it.
Oh yeah.
Derek, are you
So
going to play it?
oh yeah, that'll definitely be a day one purchase for me regardless. And more Horizon, baby. So like I said, to knock Power Fantasy, especially if they don't do it, I'll still play it. But
Yeah.
I'll definitely play it, and I'll play it with you.
Okay. Now the question is, do they put it out on the PS5 or they do just PC?
Ooh, no, I think no, they can't do just PC. I think they'll put it out on both.
Yeah. Hopefully, like
So
if they do both, like I'm sure they'll do both. Like at least like have it where it's crossplay,
oh yeah, yeah,
cross
they'll
progression.
yeah, because I think like especially since they were like when Fortnite went crossplay and Sony didn't want to play ball at the beginning, it's like we're not doing crossplay.
Hmm.
We just want to sit on our throne and be our own kings and whatnot. And then they realized how stupid that was. So I
Yep.
think they don't want to gatekeep like that. It's like, hey, we'll open crossplay, especially since they're now just getting hot and heavy into that PC ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing like MMOs on consoles
Yeah,
is the like you're gonna have to get a keyboard and mouse and plug it in, Derek. I'm gonna just tell
yeah.
you that from playing DC Online on the PlayStation 3, one PlayStation Online at that point sucked.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
I'll say that's not a good example.
but the controls were like it was just like, oh, you gotta like press L1, R1, and then press triangle to do this. It's like when you could literally just press like one on a keyboard, or
Exactly.
you know what I mean. Like it was not,
Why?
yeah. So it was not great. It was not great. Yeah, 100%, Nathan. Girl power. That's how Aloy was at the beginning, and then finally she smartened up. You can't do it alone.
Nope.
Can't do it alone.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yeah. And then your friend dies because you're a jerk.
Woof. R.I.P.
And then that crazy lady comes out of nowhere and she's like, I'm taking you to space because I love you. It's like, I don't even know your name.
I don't even know who you are.
It's like, you tried to make me eggs. That's all I know.
I know.
It's like, crazy lady. Crazy lady. Oh, man. Speaking of crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, 3 months ago, God of War Ragnarok devs said, holy crap, this game's not good. What are we going to do?
So, speaking to GQ UK, God of War Ragnarok director Eric Williams was asked how he stays motivated and handles the pressure of following up on one of the most beloved games in recent memory in 2018's God of War. Alongside sharing that some people don't realize it's not as easy as it may seem to follow up a game that reached such high heights as, quote, you never hear anyone say, the second time I climbed Everest, it was easy. He also gave some fascinating insight into the mindset of the team just 3 months ago. Quote, when you work with people that are at the apex of what they do, you're going to get magic. I just came from a room with those people. All I could say to them was thank you. They were freaking out 3 months ago. Holy crap, the game's not good. What are we going to do? I can't even imagine how they feel today. I wish I had a time machine to go back and feel like that. Williams also discussed the decision to make Kratos' Norse mythology journey onto only 2 games and not a trilogy. We knew what most of the big plot points were going to be, Williams said on what they knew about Ragnarok after finishing 2018's God of War. But at the same time, we were still talking about, is it going to be 2 or 3 games? Me and Corey Barlog were kind of on the side of 2, but the team had already kind of bought into the trilogy. So we're like, well, how do we walk this back? It's really difficult to do because the team started to go, well, are we going to just cram 2 games into one? Because that's going to be impossible. People know trilogies, and when you change things, people get uncomfortable. But that's usually where the magic happens. If I don't feel like I'm scared, like I'm literally going to get fired every day because I screwed up, I don't feel like I'm doing it right. Despite some things getting readjusted and reconfigured into pacing, or for pacing, Williams also confirmed God of War Ragnarok's story was not scaled back at all after they decided to make the saga just 2 games. Um, so I feel like that, like even though that was kind of like not needed for like the second half of it, I feel like it feeds into the first thought of like, holy crap, this game's not good. It's because when the most of the team decided that hey, trilogy, let's just do a trilogy. Let's just knock it out of the park. Let's go. We can create ideas. So many ideas if we do 2 more
Yeah.
games. And then the Corey and Eric were like, no, we got to do this in 2. They're like, oh no. So I think they felt rushed and they felt like they had to cram a lot. And I think like 3 months ago, I feel like, all right, not to say that they didn't feel this way, but I feel like it's an over exaggeration because I feel like they were in the not a literal crunch period, but it
Yeah.
was like go time. They were at the finish line. They're like, man, I think they were starting to question themselves. It's like, oh man, like I
Yeah.
could have done this better. Like this is like they were starting to doubt themselves because, like Eric said, climbing Everest the second time is not as easy as it is the first time. No matter if you know exactly where everything is,
Mm-hmm.
like, and all right, and to say this, like, even if 2018 came out and it was like a solid like 7.5 or 8 game that didn't get all this acclaim, I feel like they would not feel as much pressure
Oh, yeah.
about putting Ragnarok out
Yep.
because it's like, all right, we set a standard, now we can definitely improve from there. But
Yeah.
it's like when you get all these 10 out of 10s, game of the year award winners, it's like, man, how do we get better than this? It's sort of like the old sports adage, you take away more from a loss than you do a win. And
Mm-hmm.
since they got a win in this one, they're like, all right, how can we improve this and not just rest on our laurels? And I think the pressure got to him a little bit in the
Yeah.
meeting rooms, but I think he, with great leader, that's a sign of a great leader. With Corey and Eric at the helm, they're like, calm down, we have this.
Yep. Yep.
Just do your thing. You know what kind of talent you bring to this table. We've got this.
Yeah. And we're our own worst critics, you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
we're our own worst enemies. And, coming from, band side of things, and Derek, this as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, just because you marched a halftime show, just because you put a show on the field, doesn't make the next time you do it any easier. You still
Exactly.
have to put in the hard work. You still have to learn the music. You still got to learn your spots. You know, as the director, you still got to like have all of these moving parts and everything. And the first time you perform it, it's going to be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's going to have
1000%.
it's going to have its flaws. There's going to have its tears. It's going to have, you know, like it might fall apart. You know what? You just cut off the band, you reset, and you try it again.
Yep.
And
Run it again from the top.
yeah, from the top, you know, get to the top of the bowl. But you know, I think they were probably freaking out because it was like, okay, we've got to live up to this expectation. And, you know, we have that expectation of the game as well. It's like, we want it to be, you know, the next masterpiece. We want it to be this thing that has lived in our heads. You know, where is this going to go? Ever since we went back home and we saw, you know, the post credit thing where Thor shows up and everything, it's like that moment has lived in our head since 2018.
Yep.
And it's like every game that I've played since then, it's like, yeah, there's been some good games. I'm not going to lie. You know, there's been some good games between then and, you know, like Ghost.
One of them to be Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah, like Ghost. Like, I love that game, man. Like, I spent 2 years playing just Ghost pretty much.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, it's like, as much as I love Ghost and as excited as I am for Ghost of Tsushima 2, it's not the same as God of War, right?
Exactly.
Like, I've loved God of War from the beginning, you know?
Yep.
And like,
it's got a longer pedigree.
Yeah, we've lived with this game series for so long. We've lived with Kratos. And if y'all are looking for a great dive into this game series, like talking about like, did Kratos change? Go check out Kind of Funny's Did Kratos Change? Like Barrett Courtney did an awesome job discussing like Kratos's journey from the first game going through the PSP games and into God of War 2018 and everything, examining the character and did he actually grow? Did he actually become a better person and everything? Because Kratos, like a lot of people just like boil him down to the guy that yells. And it's like there's a lot more there now than what we've gotten in the past. And I think that's why I like 2018 so much. But I say all of that to say this. It's like the team wanted to do well. And them being like, this is really bad. This is crap. You know, push them to where we are now. We don't know what they were like. I'm sure the game was already running and they just polished for those last 3 months. Like, they're not like, oh, we've got to write this thing and do mocap. No, like everything was already done. It is just polishing and getting like the perfect feel of the Leviathan, like hitting your hand and everything. I was playing something the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. I was playing Gotham Knights on Tuesday for the stream.
I told you I bought it on PS5, right?
Yeah, I got it. I got it, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. We good. Yeah, I logged on. I was like, bro, didn't even tell me this. I was like, okay.
I can't remember if I did or not, so I'm just like, okay, he'll see my library when he goes to redeem Ragnarok. It'll be okay.
Well, I went on to get Requiem, which I've played a good bit of it already.
Okay.
It's good, man. It's really good.
Requiem?
Yeah, Requiem.
I know, it just Ragnarok's out. I need to.
I know. I started it before I got into Ragnarok. Anyway, playing Gotham, like the combat, I was like, this doesn't feel right. I was like, this doesn't feel like Arkham, and it doesn't feel like there is weight to things.
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm pressing triangle. Or pressing square, sorry, whatever the button is.
One button win.
You know what I mean? And it was just like going from 2018, then going to like even Requiem. Like I feel like there's gravitas to when I throw the sling and all of that. Because it's like it's either I hit it or I don't, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if I don't hit it, guess what's about to happen? This dude's gonna come over here and kill me. Like like that is the option. Either I hit it or I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But Gotham Knights, like it felt like I was just hitting square. But as soon as I started Ragnarok, it was like every swing felt like it was connecting. Every swing felt like it was like tearing through someone or something. And that is an amazing feeling. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
the amount of work, like when I saw it went gold, I was like, I literally sent it to you. I was like, man, I'm excited. I'm excited.
And then
So,
sent me a Five Guys thing because that's what you cared
yeah,
about more.
not that I cared about it more, it's just that you owe it to me.
Oh,
You know
whatever.
what I mean? That you owe it to me. Nate,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry
sure.
about
Fake
the
fan.
Nate, I'm sorry about any spoilers that I might have given for Forbidden West. I forget that people have not played it. When did
Oh,
Forbidden West come out?
February 18th.
How long ago was that?
Like
March,
almost
April,
9 months.
May, June. Yeah, okay. I played it on stream as well, so it's like I don't. Anyway, I'm sorry about the spoilers, but yeah, I'm excited about Dragon Ball Z. I don't even know where I got that from. I guess Ragnarok, Dragon. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. There you go. There you go. All right, guys, let's talk about some PlayStation quickies.
So first off, there's a rumor that Sony plans to release the PS5 Slim for in Q3 of 2023. PS Plus Premium adds classic Ratchet and Clank games in celebration of series' 20th anniversary. Holy cow! I cannot believe that game is almost old enough to drink. Or the series is almost old enough to drink. Siphon Filter 3 rated for PS4 and PS5 in Korea as in a PS Plus Premium release likely. Following that, PS Plus Extra and Premium games for November have been announced, with highlights being the Kingdom Hearts series like 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3, Skyrim Special Edition, not the Anniversary Edition though, What Remains of Edith Finch, Rainbow Six Siege, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and The Division 2. Swordsman VR confirmed as a PSVR 2 launch title. Some Final Fantasy news. Final Fantasy 16 game length clocks in at around 35 to 40 hours, and New Game Plus was confirmed. Final Fantasy 16 is about, quote, 95% complete, and a release date announcement expected by the end of the year. Game Awards. Final Fantasy 16 is an exclusive to PS5 for 6 months, claims a new Sony PS5 ad. Death Stranding crosses 10 million players as it celebrates its third anniversary. The Last of Us multiplayer dev hires Fortnite Battle Pass designer, which means Zach's thing of like it'll probably be more like a Battle Pass type thing is more than likely true. Some God of War news. Sackboy: A Big Adventure celebrates God of War Ragnarok with new costumes. God of War Ragnarok developer has grown into a 400 strong team. Ragnarok release will coincide with an actual Blood Moon later this week. Ragnarok on PS4 runs just fine, but reportedly makes your console sound like it's about to take off. Santa Monica Studio reveals more than 70 accessibility features in Ragnarok. And finally, Ragnarok is 2022's second highest rated game or new game on Metacritic.
What's the first?
It didn't say. I would assume
Elden Ring.
Elden
Probably.
Ring.
Yeah. You don't have to get that close to the mic, bro.
I know, but I
You,
just it
you,
adds flair to it.
you're like, I'm like, whoa, bro. Whoa, bro. Okay, a ton of news. I looked at the accessibility features. There's a ton in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
There's a ton in there. And you know one thing that you can't do? You can't turn Brock from dropping F bombs off.
Oh, I know. Well, I know.
You know what I mean? Can't
That's
turn that
that's
off.
more like family settings.
Yeah. I was like, maybe we got that in there. No, we ain't got none of that in there.
Nah, I don't think you're gonna be able to fix that from the slip up on stream, my guy.
Yeah, man. Like I was like, well, maybe. It's like you meet Brock, and then it's just like, here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
like
go.
literally from the jump. Like after the second boss fight, you're just like, all right, hey, we're here, guys.
We're here. You know, you can feel it. You can feel Fimbulwinter. Um, but you know, I'm excited, and seeing Santa Monica grow to 400
Yeah,
strong is amazing, dude. And
huge.
like that, for all of that intents and purposes and everything, I wonder how many of them were working on Ragnarok, and
Yeah,
how
because you got
many.
to think when you get that big, it's like, all right, yes, you hire a lot of people for QA toward the end,
Yeah,
but it's like Sony has been growing their teams because they want to
bigger
pump
and
out more
bigger.
projects.
Yeah,
So you got to imagine, yes, the company, they didn't say the God of War team. They said Santa Monica Studio grew to 400 people. So you got to imagine part of them are working on a new project.
Well, and we saw that Corey Barlog was not the head and director of this
Yeah.
game.
Like he was the executive, was executive EP or creative director.
Okay, so like I know when they first announced that he was not, directing this one, a lot of people
Yeah.
were upset and everything, but he was like, I'm working on something.
Yeah. He didn't say he wasn't doing anything. He just
Yeah,
wasn't spearheading God of War. Like he was in the background, like
yeah.
making sure like all the dots aligned up and everything. But it's like I'm busy doing something else.
So that makes me think it's like we might be, you know, we might have a less time turnaround on the next God of War.
That or just maybe a new IP. I don't know. We'll
I don't
see.
know. Like, let's see, Santa Monica. Excuse me, guys. Santa Monica Studios. What else have they produced?
Well, before they went back to God of War, they hired the Battlestar Galactica writer to work on like some type of space RPG. But that fell through. So I don't know. Like I think they did that VR title Blood Arena or Battle Arena VR, like something like that. No, that was San Diego, or was that San Diego? I forget. I get them mixed up. But Santa Monica mainly has been known for God of War.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm on their website. I'm looking it up, seeing what
Something I think they also have worked on Fat Princess.
escape plan.
Okay.
Everybody's gone to the Rapture with Santa Monica.
Oh, I
Carnival
forgot about that.
Island,
Yeah.
Twisted Metal, Small Brawl, Pixel Junk, Pixel Junk Shooter 2,
Mm-hmm.
Unfinished Swan.
Oh, I
Totally
forget.
forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Flow, God of War 2, God of War Chains of Olympus, Calling All
Mm.
Cars, Twisted Metal Head On. I don't know that one. Fat Princess, Fistful of Cake, Flower, God of
Yep.
War 3, Twisted Metal. Let's see their full catalog. Bound, God of War Ghost of Sparta,
Why did I think
Sorcery,
someone else did Twisted Metal and not Santa Monica? I
Sound
don't know.
Shapes, Pixel Junk Monsters, Downhill
Mm-hmm.
Domination, Pixel Junk Eden, Pixel Junk Side Scroller, PlayStation All Stars, That Princess Hohokum, Twisted
Mm-hmm.
Metal, another Pixel Junk. Here They Lie, Blast Factor, God of War Original, Pixel Junk Eden, The Order, 1886.
I think they because it was Ready at Dawn, but Santa Monica like co-developed, like they oversaw.
Okay. Warhawk, Neopets, Starhawk, War of the
I forgot
Monsters,
about the Hawk
God of
games.
God of War Ascension, which we don't talk about that. Twisted Metal
Mm,
Black Online. A lot of pixel junk. The Con, Fat
yeah,
Princess, Connecticut. They didn't do Journey, did they?
I think again it was another one they helped on it.
Okay, let's see.
Well, if they
Publisher.
did Flow and Flower, because
Yeah,
it was
they
all in
did.
that same.
Yeah.
Again, you got. I think at the time they helped do like a lot of like the coalition, like helped do a lot of collab on a
Yeah.
lot of the games. I don't think they outright developed them though.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Maybe we get some like more indie kind of things because, a lot of times these bigger ones will do a big game and then do like some smaller titles and then
Yeah,
hit the next big one. So who knows? But
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2, you cowards, do it.
I dare you. I'll play it
Me too.
for like a week. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Just give me an Itachi game, guys. Let's just do it.
Just not even forget Naruto and all the other characters. Just give me an Itachi game.
Give me an Itachi game. Like let me do the deed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
let me just take them out.
just take out all my family
Yeah, and
and then punish Sasuke
not to a seafood dinner. You know what I
to
mean?
death.
Yeah. That's how Shinobi's life. You know what I mean? You don't show an
Yeah,
emotion.
Shinobi's life for me.
Well, let's get into the quick hits. Everybody's like, my God, this episode. All right, let's jump into these quick hits.
So starting off, Sebastian Kalemba named as the Witcher 4 game director. Blood Bowl 3 release date set for February 23rd. A game you thought was dead and gone. Blue Box Game Studio says it's working hard on Abandoned. Ugh, just let it go, please. Modern Warfare 2 composer departs over, quote, increasingly challenging dynamic with audio director. Activision says Modern Warfare 2 has surpassed 1 billion with a B in sales just 10 days. Call of Duty will get full premium release in 2023 and rumored to be Modern Warfare 2 expansion. Call of Duty Warzone will be taken offline for 12 days to relaunch as Call of Duty Warzone Caldera. Hideo Kojima says a Google Stadia exclusive Death Stranding sequel was never in the works. Thank you. Let it die. Stadia, I mean, not Death Stranding. AMD officially announces the Radeon RX 7000 desktop GPUs. Nintendo's Black Friday deals will once again include a Mario Kart 8 bundle. Good lord, it's like rabbits. They just keep appearing out of nowhere. It looks like From Software is working to become its own publisher. Diablo 4 release reportedly targeting April, and pre-orders will go live in December. Game Awards, most likely. Warren Spector is working on a multiplayer immersive sim titled Argos, Riders on the Storm. Ex-BioWare legend Mark Dara reckons microtransactions and free-to-play market models are, quote, doomed to collapse. Lionsgate is fielding propositions for a new AAA John Wick game. Overwatch 2 had 35 million players worldwide during its first month. New Overwatch 2 character Ramatra to release on December 6th with the Season 2 Battle Pass. Project Cars series has officially been canceled by EA. Netflix announces a Gears of War live-action film and animated series. GTA 5 reaches 170 million units sold, while the Red Dead Redemption series has reached 70 million. Take-Two CEO says he'll take, quote, delays over flops any day while lowering earnings forecast. Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake is still in development, but no timetable has been given. Street Fighter 6 is getting a dynamic control scheme meant to, quote, help button mashers excel. European Commission opens in-depth investigation into the Xbox and Activision Blizzard deal. Nintendo hasn't officially ruled out a Switch price increase. Nintendo Switch sales cross 114 million, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe nearing 50 million units sold. That's from all the years of Black Friday deals with them bundled in. That shouldn't count. Monster Hunter mobile game announced from Capcom and Tencent's TIMI Studio Group. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope to get 3 expansions next year. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land has reportedly become the best-selling game in the franchise.
Oh, yeah, Mario Kart 8 doesn't want to die, but they've got now the new tracks, so it's never going away. Never going away.
But I looked at it and it's like it's the same bundle, like not even included the booster course or like Nintendo's. Well, I think they include the online, but not like
you're not getting
the
that booster
expansion
course, man. You got to pay for that.
I guess, man.
They'll give you the
like,
base game now. They'll give you that base game.
Yeah, no, it's always been the base game, like just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yep. That's it, and it's not even like again, it's the base model Switch. It's not even the OLED. It's like, bro, at least give me the better model.
No, you don't deserve that better model. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. Just kill it. Just kill it. Ever since we saw what it was going to be, and they're like, "Yeah, we're totally releasing this," and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to release it." It's like, just kill it. Like,
bro, if they haven't killed Beyond Good and Evil 2, they're not going to kill this.
Like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Like, and I love Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Like, that is like one of the games that sticks out in my mind. I never beat it, but I remember playing it, and like, because I rented it, I remember playing it, and it was like it was such a cool idea. It's like, you know, like when you get a game, like especially when you're younger, it's like, man, if I could just do X with this power, like in the game, like it would make it would, you know what I mean? Like you're thinking of like different ways that the developers could have used the powers, and like I was thinking about that all the time playing that game. Yeah, I love Sands of Time. just not this remake, because it looked awful, and they were trying to like, oh yeah, this looks. It's like, no, this looks bad.
Yeah.
Looks bad. Netflix announces Gears of War. I'm excited. I'm excited.
More excited for the live action or the animated?
It,
I know it depends on how both of them look, but just at first blush.
I feel like they will do a better job at the animated series
Yep.
than they will the live action, because unless they do it something where it's like The Witcher and they actually like, have somebody that cares about the stuff like
Yeah.
Henry Cavill did, I think it's just going to be, like Death Note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm really, really cautious on that. But the animated series, like they don't have to worry about actors, like they can get voice actors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Get the original cast for the voice actors for the animated
That would,
series.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
That would be dope.
Yeah, it
Joe,
would.
John DiMaggio and all of that. Like it would be dope to see.
Yeah.
Next week, Derek, let's cast our Gears of War live action movie
Ooh. Okay.
on the show.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next week we're going to cast
Yeah.
our Gears of War. I don't want to do it now because we're already like an hour and 38 in this thing.
Exactly.
And then last thing, I've been saying it for years, Derek. Microtransactions and now free to play is a plague upon the gaming industry, and I'm glad that Mark Dara sees it like
the godfather of BioWare.
Yeah, it's like, I'm glad someone else saw it. Jim Sterling back in the day saw it as I did.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Moriarty. Maybe rest of his. No, he's not dead.
I will say that being said, you never hear from about Jim Sterling anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I'll tell you here in a minute.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode of also AMD announcing their new
Radeon
GPU. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pop this in here real quick. NVIDIA announced their 490 series, $1,500. AMD, which is like maybe like 5% slower than NVIDIA's, $999.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So my next build will be AMD because I'm not paying $500 more to get, less than
the top of the line. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it was like 20%, yeah, I'd do it. But if it's like 5%, no, it ain't worth $500. You know what I mean? So there you go, guys. There is all the nerdy news that you need to know. We hope that you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to like it. Make sure to share it with somebody. And make sure to... Murdoch says, help button masters. That's not the way. I agree, Murdoch. You got to learn it.
Not the way.
This is not the way. Do you know the way? Do you know the way?
My brother.
So, yeah. Learn how to fight, and if you're gonna play Street Fighter, you just gotta learn it. And that's any fighting game. You just gotta learn it. You know what I mean?
You can't just be doing leg sweeps.
Tenkaichi, you know what I mean? Or Budokai. You had to learn them combos. You had to square, circle. 4 squares, 1 circle. Kamehameha.
And then it became in Budokai 2, just press forward circle and you can do a Kamehameha a lot easier. And I'm just like, I get it. It's quicker, but it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, because like you don't have like you don't open them up with the punches and bunches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the extra damage.
Yeah. Man, Cell was so hard to kill in that game.
Let's not talk about it. I broke a controller over it.
Anyway, there you go, guys. There's the show. This has been Zach.
And Damon.
Y'all have an awesome week. Bye. Boom. She done. All right, guys. It was 9:14.
Yeah.
Well, it's 9:14.
Seeing how much pre-show shenanigans we got into.
Yeah, exactly. We talked a while. Murdoch, how's it going, my man? It was quiet tonight. Y'all quiet tonight.
We don't like when you're quiet.
Yeah. I want y'all whispering in my ear. I want you to be like, hey, boy.
Now, if y'all are playing Ragnarok, that's understandable. But
Whisper in the ear.
there's a pause button. Put an arrow in his eye.
Put an arrow in his eye. Playing Skyrim. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Is this your first time through Skyrim? Just turned it on. Just turned on the PlayStation.
Da-da-dum.
First time. Oh, nice.
Huh.
Depending on your play style, there's a good multiplayer mod. Okay. Um, I really liked the make like a battle mage kind of thing, but my strong suit was conjuring, so I put a lot into like summoning like Dremora lords to fight for me, which was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put this off for a while, but I know like the mod sides orc heavy armor. Yeah, I never wore a ton of heavy armor. I also cheated the system and got like my 100% stealth by um sneaking there's a cave outside of Winterhaven.
Hmm.
I don't want to say Winterfell is Game of Thrones. There's a blind guy like in a cave, and you can literally take like a rubber band, put it on your joystick, crouch, and like walk in there, like walk like backwards, like away from him, like
Yeah.
against the wall, and your stealth will go up. So like when I was in college, Whiterun, there we go. Um, like when I was in college, like I got 100% stealth, so I literally could be like right beside someone, like they looking at me, and they couldn't see me because my stealth was so high. It was great.
Dang.
Yeah, it was great. There's other ways to like cheat the system on those kind of things in that game, but yeah, I love Skyrim. I played like 400 something hours when it first came out.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah. Like I played a ton, a ton.
That's
Uh,
400 more than I did played.
like it was the first time that I got into that kind of RPG.
That's fair. Like, I've been wanting to give it a go, mainly because it's like GTA. It's been redone so many times. I'm just like,
Yeah,
why not? But
yeah, yeah. It was like when it first came out, it was the first one that I ever done. Because the RPGs that I played before that was more like BioWare RPGs that were more kind of
Mhm.
handheld. Like, and this was like the first one. It was just kind of like the world's yours, go do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the DLC is cool. The vampire stuff is cool. In the DLC.
Hmm.
But if you're a werewolf and then you get bit, you can't turn them back into a werewolf. Like you just become a vampire.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah. But like you get like this like mystic bow or whatever,
Yeah.
and you get like a certain like arrow, and you can literally like turn the sun like red so it doesn't affect you anymore, but it looks like the sun's bleeding and like the sky's bleeding the whole time after you do that.
Hmm.
There you go. Because like when you're a vampire, you can't go out in daylight,
Yeah.
and that's how the game works. It's like once you become a vampire, it's like you just got to go out at night.
Hmm. That's why
Derek's
you
like
call it.
Derek's like shut up so I can play God of War. I
I
literally could
mean,
I could literally feel it. I literally could feel it. You're just like, I don't care about Skyrim.
mm,
No, there's no
one day
cure.
I'll get to it.
There's no cure. And that's a DLC that you get way later. Well, you probably have it, but that's something like you don't have to become a vampire. It's a choice. Same thing with becoming a werewolf. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, which the werewolf's pretty cool. You just don't have as much. You already got attacked. Well, there you go.
Well, rip.
There you go. Got vampirellus disease. I don't remember if you can't like, dude. It's been so long. It's been so long since I played. So I don't know. I don't know 100% on that. But guys, we're gonna wrap it. Derek's ready to play God of War. He's got tomorrow off, and he's gonna make like 10 steps, and he's gonna just keep getting killed because I hacked this game and put it on. Give me God mode.
Oh gosh, no, 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 no! Don't do that to me,
dude.
oh,
Dude,
give me God of War. I'm like, all right, cool.
Joe, that's in our chat a lot.
Yeah,
He shared on Discord a dude beat Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen, in 13 seconds on God mode.
no way.
Yes, like he paused it and showed that he was like, "Give me God of War," like as the
How?
difficult. I was like, I don't even know how. I don't even know how,
Like,
dude.
what kind of build did he have to finish in 13 seconds?
Like
Because he had that,
he
like,
shows the build, and I'm like, I don't even understand this. I don't
no,
even understand this. Like it was
because like
crazy.
it has to be like all damage and all special effect damage. Like that's it.
Like I don't know, dude. It was crazy. Like I saw it
Whew.
and I was just like, I guess I need to build this build so I can like.
Yeah. Whew.
Hmm.
You're
All
on to
right,
better things though. Now that's
on
old. That's in the past.
yeah, exactly. We ain't dealing with that old. I'm getting that good. You know what I mean? Getting that good. Well, guys, y'all have a wonderful night. We're gonna hop off from here. We will see you next week. Tuesday night we'll be over on Twitch, so come and join us there. We might be playing some Halo. I don't know. I want to do some co-op campaign, so I'll be getting up with everybody to see what we can do on all of that. But guys, we love y'all. We'll have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Bye, guys.